All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to finish up with this last couple of curses here. I got cut off on the last one there, actually. So we're going to just have a part two here. And so number 11 was an oppressed people by their enemies. And that's Deuteronomy 25 through 28 there. 25 and 48, excuse me. And so you'll find those verses. So it's up to us to read who we are and find our own history, brothers and sisters. And we're a very religious people, as it says here. I'm going to move the camera. But it says we're a very religious people and members of all religions. That's Deuteronomy 28, 36, and 64. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish up here. And we're going to try to beat the time because I have a timer of 10 minutes for this video. So we're going to get to a couple of verses that I want to read, and I'm going to close out with these verses, okay? So the first one, we're going to start with verse 10 here. Now this is the Bible, King James Bible Online.org. It's a great site, KingJamesBibleOnline.org. You'll love it. It's great for pulling up your scriptures. It doesn't have a lot of advertisements and things like that, as you can see. I'm going to enlarge it just one time here so we can get a bigger, let's get some bigger text. All right, it says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is the reward in heaven, your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." And I start off with this because I want brothers and sisters to understand that we're not out here to hurt your feelings and prove you wrong. That's not our goal, is to just upset you and make you angry. Our goal is to help you to come back to the covenant that we are being cursed for breaking. We are going to, God says he curses the generations after. So we're responsible for the curse of our forefathers breaking these same laws and commandments and the covenant, which is, guess what we're still doing. All right, God says, and this is for those who say, well, it doesn't matter what you think, you can believe what you want, I'll believe what I want. He says, ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, to be cast out, to be trodden underfoot. This is Israel, brothers and sisters. We were the salt of the earth. We still are. The entire world follows after our fads and our habits and our traditions and our lingo, our ebonics. Everyone follows after the people here in the United States, the so-called African American. You cannot have your own beliefs and your own way of serving God, because he says you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. You cannot hide the light of God, of Christ, that has been given to you. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, right? And it giveth light unto all that are in the house. So we are to be the light of the world. If you're a Christian, your job is to go around teaching the world about Christ. How many of you are doing that? That's the gospel of Christ, and teaching that the kingdom is at hand. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Now this is what I really came for. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or to fulfill the prophets. That's one time he said he didn't come to destroy the law. I am not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill. That's two times. Then he says, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass away, or pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law until all is fulfilled. Shall in no wise pass from the law. That's three times, brothers and sisters, that the law is said to have not passed away. Whosoever, until all is fulfilled. Let me just add that, because all has not been fulfilled. There's a lot of prophecy that has not been fulfilled. You should know this, Christians, because you are Christians. You have a Bible. So you should know this. We can't go on not following God because man tells us we don't have to do this anymore. We don't have to obey the commandments. He says again, whosoever shall break one of the least of these commandments and shall teach men so, that's the least of the commandments. If you teach someone to break them or you break them, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, which is the lake of fire, because it is in the kingdom of heaven, and that would make you the least if you're tossed into that. But whosoever, so that's 4 times. He said you'll be least in the kingdom. So he's telling you again not to disobey the law. This is Jesus Christ. You say you are a follower of Christ. We say we're Christians. People say this all the time, and they don't listen to the teachings of Jesus Christ. This is what he's saying, not Brother Ezekiel. He says, whosoever shall break one of the least of these commandments and teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. To do and teach, great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is a great chapter in Matthew 5 here. You know, Jesus just says so many great things, that we should stick to and we should hold to. We have to hold to the teachings of Jesus Christ, brothers and sisters. All right? So just keep in mind that this is what Jesus said. We can't do what what your pastors say if it's in disobedience to Jesus. I hear a lot of people say, well, Paul said this and Paul said that. Paul is an eloquent writer. He is the master of the Torah, and that's what he taught. So you're not understanding what Paul taught. If you continue to teach almost every chapter that he says anything that seems like he's saying the law has passed away, he says, God forbid, the law has not passed away. Okay? He says all kinds of things in his writings, in his 12 books in the New Testament, that confirm the law has not passed away, as does Jesus, as do the apostles. So it's all in the New Testament, and people are saying the Old Testament has passed away. How can you carry a Bible, which is 2/3 Old Covenant, and you're just going to throw that out? You should just get you a New Testament Bible and carry that. One of those little New Testament Bibles. Just keep that, because you cannot cast out 2/3 of the book because someone told you to. Jesus was a very, very staunch opponent of the traditions of men. You cannot follow the traditions of men, brothers and sisters. All right? So I just wanted to read this verse to close out. Thanks again for visiting us here at Awakening Israel Ministries. This is Brother Ezekiel. The glory all belongs to the God of Israel, our God, who came and died for us. And he is who we serve, Yahusha. And that is, for some of you who don't know, you call him Jesus, but there's nothing wrong with calling him Jesus, in my opinion. But I choose to call him the name that he was given, his real name. All right? Okay, so glory be unto God. And I hope you all have a great day. And I hope you look at your word and look at these teachings. And I hope you question what you've been taught that's a falsehood, because these are the deceits of the devil. All right? We must follow Jesus and his teachings. Shalom.